for Miss Eka for a while. Yeah, I guess she has problem with her connection, so she's trying her best right now.
Miss Teti, the students of GA 3, are they going to be here?
Yes, I have already put the link in the group, but maybe they have other things to do. So,
All right.
Asay, relax.
Okay, still waiting for a second, and we can start. She's still trying her best with her connection. She said she's trying to connect with her phone. Okay.
Who's going to present first, by the way?
So the first presenter is going to be Caca, and then Luhung, and then Asay, okay?
Look at Asay's face.
I have kind of read read a bit about their paper, and it's very, well, I can say it's very variative between the three of them, among three of them. Okay. Okay. Let me ask Miss Eka first, and then we can start the presentation. Okay, Caca? Let me ask Miss Eka first, okay?
Others, could you please tell us what level you are in? Let's start with Mary.
I'm from Higher Intermediate 3.
Okay, thank you. Fanny. Oh, Fanny is probably not there. Zara.
Hello guys, I'm from EN2 and my teacher is Miss Amel. Glad to see you.
Okay, thank you. Anissa.
High Intermediate 3.
Oh, Higher Intermediate.
Mary.
Oh,
Yes,
Mary's class. Vidya.
Vidya is with
Yeah, I'm with Zara, Intermediate
2.
Okay. So I think there's no chat from Miss Eka. Miss Eka said the last time she said she tried to. How about, shall we start now, or wait. She's already online. I think that's the with the connection connection problem. All right. Okay, there she is. Okay, so Miss Eka has joined us. Okay. Hello, Miss Eka.
Hi, I'm sorry.
Welcome. Okay, so let's start, shall we? So before, I have told the class here that the one who is going to be the first will be Chacha, and the second presenter will be Luhung, and the last presenter will be Asay. So Chacha, you may share your screen. You may share your PPT slides to us, and for everyone here, please listen to the presentation, and if you have any questions, you may ask Chacha later after she finishes her presentation. Okay? All right, Chacha, the time is yours. You may start the presentation now.
Good luck, Chacha.
Good luck. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Sure, yeah, I can see it. K-pop.
So, good evening, everyone. Greetings. My name is Cahaya Damayanti, and people usually call me Tata. In this evening, I would like to present to you K-pop as an irresistible attraction for you. I'm sorry, I was muted but taken away. Okay, so with the social media platforms that we have right now, such as Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, we get to know the things happening around us easily. For example, viral videos and memes, COVID-19 cases, also news and cultures around the world. One of those cultures that has become really popular lately is K-pop. So actually, what is K-pop? K-pop is basically Korean pop music and is originated from South Korea. Now, I have a question for you. What would you think first if you heard the word K-pop? The beautiful faces? The songs that you cannot understand? I believe BTS will be the most common answer for this question. BTS is a K-pop boy band consisting of 7 members, and they have started to become famous in 2017 after releasing their song called DNA. And they're now a global artist. Who doesn't know them? Lately, they broke another records by their singles Butter and also Dynamite that got in the first and also second place in the most viewed music video in 24 hours. However, BTS is only the surface of K-pop. If we search a bit deeper, we can find more and more fine groups and also artists that can make the K-pop industry booms. Hence, we have so many K-pop addicts nowadays. And according to researchgate.net, most of them are 16 until 20 years old, which means youngsters are the majority of K-pop fans. Now, have you ever been curious as to why youngsters like it? What makes K-pop so admirable? Why is the good thing in it? So let me tell you that you shouldn't wonder anymore, since K-pop has catchy songs, motivational lyrics, beautiful visuals, and also cool choreographies. It is very addictive to listen to K-pop songs since they're catchy, and the melodies get stuck in your head easily. For example, I have Dope by BTS.
Hey yo ladies and gentlemen 준비가 됐다면 부르게 yeah. 딴 녀석들과는 다르게 내 스타일로 내 스타일로 밤새 일했지 every day 네가 클럽에서 놀래 yeah. 잘 놀랐지 말고 들었네
the song, if you listen closely, you can hear simple piano chords. And then getting into the chorus, it has a honky type of sound caused by the saxophone. And the song is a bit aggressive, which make the listeners can feel the song more. More examples of catchy songs are Mama Mohip and also Hot Sauce by NCT. Don't forget to stream them. So not only K-pop songs are catchy, but you can also find more than one genre in a song. I have an example by Deja Vu Dreamcatcher. First, I will play the intro. Let's listen to it closely.
너의 두 눈동자여 지난 모든 기억들을 지워줘.
So here in the intro, you can hear that they use gentle piano songs, like piano accompanied by the members' beautiful and also soft voices. But let's see how contrasting it is in the pre-chorus and also the chorus. The beats start to get louder, and you can hear an intense sound from the violin. And getting into the chorus, it sounds like rock music with high energy, using the electric guitar and also the drums that are never there in the intro. In K-pop, you can find more catchy songs that have a twist, such as Eternally TXT and also Come Back on 21. So now we know that K-pop songs are catchy and it is addictive to listen to them. The memorable music will make the listeners want to listen to K-pop more. After you listen to the songs, you can look up for its lyrics on Google. Songs have motivational lyrics and the songs are comforting. Let me give you an example from GOT7 Just Right that tells us not to be insecure and that tells us that we are just right. This song can build the fans' self-confidence. But motivational songs in K-pop are not only talking about building self-confidence. Not Today by BTS and also Stray Kids My Pace tell us to not stop fighting for what we want or what we have been dreaming of. These kinds of songs are more powerful and meaningful since the idols themselves are hardworking people that have to be trainees for years before debuting. And when they debut, each of them has struggled to survive and also thrive in the strict Korean entertainment industry. Since the songs are motivational, it can raise the listener's mental health. I will give you an example from Love Myself by BTS that basically just like it tells us ourselves to love ourselves. The youth, the adolescents, youngsters, teenagers, they have unstable emotions that they need something to hold on while they're going through their life. These inspirational lyrics in K-pop manage to have youngsters get through hard times, and it possibly can help them find the identities of themselves as they are growing up. So far, we know that K-pop has catchy tunes, catchy musics, and it also has motivational lyrics. But not only that, it also has visuals and also beautiful choreography, which make K-pop more admirable. Just look at these beautiful and handsome faces. Fans seem to be entertained and also fascinated by these faces, and fans won't be bored watching them. With just looking at these faces, their heart is and not boring watching them dancing and also singing while they're performing. On the other side, K-pop idols also have to dominate the choreography. Each of them has to be a professional dancer. I will give you a beautiful synchronized choreography by 17 from the song Clap. 17 has many members, 13 members in the group, yet each of them manages to be in sync with one another. It is very unique for K-pop groups to be synchronous with each other while singing. It's a hard thing, and fans seem to love their talent. Here comes the conclusion. The popularity in K-pop is caused by many things. Undoubtedly, the music has catchy tunes and they linger in your head easily. The lyrics inspire and also motivate people, especially youngsters who are still growing up. Beautiful Korean artists and their spectacular dances never fail to hook the audience. It is crucial to be very attractive and also multi-talented to be successful in this music industry. Indeed, each of them is a talented person who deserves recognition. Thus, you shouldn't question why young people nowadays adore K-pop, since it has catchy music, motivational songs, and struggles together with stunning dances. That's all from me. Thank you for listening and good evening. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, thank you so much for this great presentation, Chacha. Okay, so I guess I have a question here for Chacha, and then we can continue to other people. So this is about K-pop, right? It's like an irresistible, it's addictive. Sometimes it's very addictive to some young people out there. I believe some of you here love K-pop, and you have your own bias, right? And then Chacha said there are 4 factors here. So the first one, the catchy songs, and then motivational lyrics, the visuals, and also the choreographies. The one thing that I want to ask Chacha is the visual here. I guess most people know that those idols, some of them, they have surgeries, right? Can be rhinoplasty, nose, chin, forehead, or even Botox, liposuction, something like that. Even they, besides having a very strict diet, of course, a very strict diet and trainings, lots of long trainings, they also have that surgery. And I believe it's been a very controversial issue among Korean idol out there. So my question is, so in your opinion, Chacha, do you think that surgery, using surgery for idols, can we say that it's making the genuine visual, the genuine visual for them? What do you think?
In my opinion, first of all, thank you. Thank you really much for the question. In my opinion, it doesn't give genuine visual since they do plastic surgery. But they have to, since it is required for K-pop idols to look pretty and also handsome, because South Korea also has their beauty standards, and its K-pop idols are expected to have beautiful visuals, and probably that's why they do surgery and also extreme diet, since they have to fulfill the beauty standard.
Okay, thank you. So the Korean beauty standard here. Okay, thank you, Chacha, for that. And I guess I have some suggestion for your paper for this one. I guess for your paper, try not to abbreviate. So for example, you can type "it's" into ITS like that, so you can type "it is" like that. So if you type it on your paper, just don't abbreviate it. But if you present it, it's okay. But if you typed it on your essay later, don't abbreviate it. Just type it into a longer, like "it is," "I am," or "we have," like that.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome. I think that's it from me. I think that's a very great presentation. Any other questions or suggestions from other participants? You may turn on your sound. Miss Vivi, Miss Betty, Miss Eka, perhaps?
Yes, I have a question for Chacha.
Okay, Miss Eka.
I really like your the topic, like irresistible. That's really nice. I'm curious. Why did you choose this topic?
Thank you for the question, Ms. Teka. So I chose this topic because I personally love K-pop. And I feel like I'll master this topic if I present it to you guys. And I want people not to stereotype K-pop, and I want people to appreciate them. I want them to understand that it is reasonable for people to like K-pop.
Okay, thank you. So,
You're welcome.
is there anyone or someone from those K-pop actor or actress that you identify with? You have a picture of her or him?
Yeah, I stan BTS and I have the poster in my room.
Okay. So anyone particular from BTS that you really like or represent yourself?
I like all of the members, but I have a bias. His name is Jungkook. I feel like we have similar personalities. I guess that's why I like him.
So tell us, what are the similarities between you and him?
Well, Jungkook is a pretty competitive person when it comes to games, and I feel like I am also competitive when I'm playing games. And he's a bit childish, and I feel like I'm also childish.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I guess.
Okay.
I just like him.
Great. I think I'm happy with the answer. Thank you so much. I'll give a chance for the others to ask questions. Thank you, Chacha.
Thank you, Miss. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Eka, for your questions. Any other?
Good evening, Jaja.
Okay, Miss Tati.
Okay, so you mentioned that you don't want people to stereotype K-pop fans, and yet you also mentioned that K-pop members, K-pop band members, have to live up to their beauty Korean standards. And by living up to their beauty Korean standards, it means that they are living to the stereotype, which delivers the message to their audience, their fans, that they are giving a stereotype to that kind of movement or that kind of entertainment, that you have to be able to dance well, you have to be able to look good, you have to be thin enough, and you have to be I don't know, probably like all sorts of entertainment skills that they must have. Now, do you think that by sending those stereotypes to their fans, to their audience, is it wrong then for people to stereotype them and their fans?
Thank you for the question, Miss Tati. It's a very interesting question. I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's person has their own right to say their opinion, but I'm just telling them the reasons. Like when, for example, when they stereotype K-pop like for plastic, I want to tell them the reason that they have to live up to the Korean beauty standard. But nowadays, there are K-pop idols who break the beauty standards. So not all of them, but yeah, majority of people think like that. I want to give the reason, like why you think of it, and like the reason behind it. So I hope they understand.
Okay. So continuing from that, do you think that K-pop fans will not get affected by those stereotypes?
The key here is to have an open-minded. I mean, you have to be open-minded for this kind of things. Some of the fans are toxic and also fanatic. When they hear some things like this, they get mad. But if you're into K-pop, then you have to embrace its positivity and also the negativity. You have to know the issues around the K-pop world, and when you get to know it, you will realize, you will know which one is the good one, which one is the bad one. If you're not a toxic fan, then you will realize that you shouldn't you should just ignore those kind of people that stereotype and like K-pop. So it all goes back to yourself. I'm here just giving this.
Thank you so much, Chacha, for your answers.
Thank you, Ms. Tete. I guess that's the continuity from my questions. I get from the surgery until the stereotype of Korean people about our K-pop groups out there. The boy K-pop group or the girl K-pop group, right? Okay. Any other questions? I guess any other from Miss Fifi or any other presenters, any other participants here who loves K-pop as well and who can relate?
Miss Amel, is it okay?
Yeah, Miss Fifi, sure.
Hi, Chacha. So I really enjoy your presentation. I just wondering, I just want to know about your opinion. Yeah, it's still the continuation of the stereotype and blah blah blah. As you know that it's not always the good thing happens in K-pop world. As we know that, so not one, maybe more than one K-pop idols had like suicide or something like that, and they have mental breakdown. They have yeah, anxiety disorder, something like that. So, but in fact, we can admit that there are so many people that wants to have a career in the K-pop world. I just want your opinion. What makes people, even with with the stereotype, with the some facts, yeah, that about the suicide things, and what is it offered by the K-pop world, regardless about fame and money. Yeah? So what do you think about what K-pop offered to them? Yeah, in having a career there. I just need to know your opinion about that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Ms. Fifi. From the way I see it, those suicides and also anxiety, you can see the bright side of it. Because of that, many K-pop idols have the intention to raise the fans' mental health. I have an example. You can search it up. Eric Nam. He recently had anxiety and he had panic attack, but because of that, he wants to tell the world to to be aware of their mental health, and then he's using his songs, he's using the messages in his songs to say that yeah, well, it's okay to feel anxiety sometimes, you will get through it, something like that. And then the fans seem to be helped by his songs and also his messages. So like regardless the suicide thingy, you can look for the bright side of it, like people can learn from it.
Oh, okay, so you say that, so the K-pop offers messages, campaign, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that only campaign or any others?
Well, most of them are by their songs and campaigns. Yeah.
All right. Okay, Chacha, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Miss Fifi, for your question here. Any other perhaps? Any other? Okay. Okay, I guess if there are no any other questions, we can give round of applause to Chacha. Thank you so much, Chacha, for presenting and also answering the questions really well here. Right, so now shall we continue with the second presenter, everyone? Let's start with Luhung, okay? Luhung, the time and place is yours, okay? Okay, you may share the screen, Luhung.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
By the way, Luhung, is it possible to turn down your camera a little bit so we can see your full face? Thank you.
Okay.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Okay, everyone, good evening. Hi. How are you guys doing today?
It's great. Good evening, Lubung.
I'm glad to hear that. I hope for those who did not answer are having a great day too. My name is Wijaksara Aptaluhung, and you guys can call me Luhung. And in this beautiful evening, I would like to talk about mathematics, the underrated subject. Education has a lot of things inside of it, but the one that we use the most in our everyday lives is school education. School education has a lot of subjects in it too, and math is somehow the most hated one. I asked some of my friends about their opinion on subjects, like their most hated subject and stuff, and almost all of them answered math as their most hated subject. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would answer the same thing if someone asks you this question. Well, there are a lot of things that make people dislike this subject. Some say that mathematics is dull. They think that numbers and formulas are not exciting. Well, I'm not going to judge. They can dislike this subject however they want to, but considering how useful it is in real life, it's not worth the hate. And here are the reasons why I recommend you guys to learn this subject instead of hating it, because it helps us have better problem solving skills, survive everyday lives, and do our jobs better. So first, learning this subject instead of hating it helps us have better problem solving skills. It helps by improving our logical thinking skills. Let's take a look at this question. Evaluate x min y plus 10 if the value of x plus 36 if the value of x is y plus 36. What would be the first thing that you do if someone asks you this question? Yes, you'll write down to weigh. I'm sorry, you'll write down to you will collect all of the clues from the question. By collecting these clues, it will train our ability to process information. After collecting them, what would be the next thing you do? Yes, you write down the way to solve this question. We have to find the right formula to use. This will train our ability to think creatively, critically, and logically. And also, we'd have to write the ways in order. This will train the ability to structure and organize. These abilities can help us investigate and understand a problem that we probably face in real life. By using our information processing ability, we can search for the clues that we have from the problem. By thinking creatively, critically, and logically, we can find the ways to solve the problem and know which one of them is the most effective one. And also, by using our structuring and organizing ability, we can organize the way to solve the problem in order. Next, learning math instead of hating it helps us survive our everyday lives. It helps by making us know how to control our money. I believe we've learned the basics of math such as addition, subtraction from a very young age. And now, imagine your mom asks you to buy a 10,000 rupiah drink at the supermarket. She gives you 30,000 rupiah and permits you to buy anything that you want. By knowing how to add and subtract, you know that you can only spend 20,000 rupiah, not more. If you don't know how to add and subtract, there's a possibility that you buy something that's worth more than 20,000 rupiah and not be able to buy your mom a drink. And knowing how to add and subtract can help you control your consumption too. You can see how much money you can spend on food, shopping, and how much money you have to save for the future. We'll know whether we spend too much money or not. And last but not least, it's because math helps us do our jobs better. Some of you guys might be asking how math can help us do our jobs better, Luhung. Well, it helps since most jobs use math in it. Based on my research, a study from tradeschools.net of American workers mentioned that 94% of all workers use some sort of math in their jobs. It's also mentioned that out of 100 workers that use some sort of math in their jobs, 68 of them use fractions, decimals, and percentages. It's also mentioned that 28 of them use geometry and trigonometry, and 4 of them use calculus, which are the skilled trades workers, managers, and technical professionals who use it the most. From those statements, we can say that math definitely takes a big part of our work. Even if we master only the basics, such as fractions, decimals, percentages, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus, we'll still be able to ace our jobs. I'm so sorry. And from what I've mentioned before, studying mathematics improves our logical thinking skills. We can use those skills to solve the problem that we probably face in our jobs. Math is worth learning for every reason. Learning the subject could improve our problem-solving skills by improving our logical and critical thinking ability. Don't forget about how math could help us survive our everyday lives by helping us know how to control our money and consumption, and how this subject could help us ace our job since most jobs use some sort of math in it is amazing. Even Shakuntala Devi, an Indian writer and mental calculator, said that there's nothing we can do without mathematics. Therefore, you shouldn't question why I recommend you guys to learn this subject instead of hating it, since it helps us have better problem solving skills, survive everyday lives, and do our jobs better. And that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. Do you guys have any questions?
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Luhung, about mathematics, the underrated subject. I guess I will let the audience first, the participants first, to ask question, and then I will continue with the questions and some suggestion. Okay, so anyone who wants to ask the question, you can turn on your sound about mathematics.
Can I ask?
Yeah, sure, Miss Eka. Sure.
Yeah, so Luhung, I really like the way you present your presentation and how you have prepared your presentation. It's interesting that you mentioned how mathematics have helped you or help people in their in the way of their thinking, problem solving, logical, and all that. So tell us, how does math helps you in learning English?
Oh, that's a very great question. And I'm sorry. Thank you for the question, Miss. As what I've mentioned before, learning mathematics improves our logical thinking skills and critical thinking ability. And by having those abilities and stuff, it will definitely help us, maybe answer some questions, like how I answered your question. I use my logical thinking ability to answer your question as good as possible. And yeah, it helps by, making our brain works harder and became a more logical person.
So how does it help you in learning English specifically?
Well, it's not like numbers and stuff helps us learning English, miss, but it's more like the impact that we'll get if we learn that subject is making our like logical thinking ability, as what I've mentioned before, better, improve. And yes, that will help learning this subject, I think.
Okay. One more question. Um, so what do you think are the challenges for people who hates math?
Oh. Well, thank you for the question. Um, well, I asked some of my friends about like their opinion on this subject, and some of them answered that they dislike this subject because they, yes, are not interested in numbers, and that thing we can't change that thing if we don't have the will to. But maybe the other challenge is by time as we're getting older, you know that at the senior high school we learn about trigonometry and maybe low calculus and stuff. But in our like primary school, we learn like addition, subtraction, and those kind of things which are in a different level. So yeah, the challenge is it's getting harder and harder and more challenging if you think of the positive side of it.
Anything else?
Well, I'm pretty sure most of those people who hate math who think this that way.
You have some tips for them?
Well, for learning this subject, I recommend you guys to maybe just learn the subject like like how you think would be like would give you the bad most impact. Like just learn it like how you learn others subjects that you love, like and learn it by how you think it's the comfortable way. Like for example, if you're a visual learner, then watch the videos from YouTube and stuff. But if you like to walk around, maybe you can walk around the park while bringing the book and maybe just enjoy the view while learning it. And then if you're the audio kind of learner, then maybe you can search for podcasts and stuff. Yes, that's from me.
Thank you, Lokum, for sharing.
Hey, you're welcome, miss.
All right, thank you, Ms. Eka. Any other questions?
Good evening, Luhung.
Good evening, miss.
Okay, so you mentioned that mathematics is not a popular subject. Some people think it's hard. Now, in your opinion, who do you think need to change for math to be a more popular subject? Do you think we need to change the syllabus, or we need to improve learners' mindset, or maybe we need to change the way teachers teach the subject? Which one do you think is more appropriate right now?
Okay, thank you for the question, miss. It's an amazing question. Well, me personally, I think the syllabus of this like subject is already good. It's just the mindset of the students that needs to change, and maybe the way the teacher like explains the subject, because I experienced it by myself. In my school, my teacher is so boring, like I would sleep in his class and stuff. But in the other classes where the teacher is like very fun and stuff, I likely to hear his explanation and stuff. So yes, the thing that need to change are the mindset of the students and yeah, the way the teacher explains.
And which one is more needed at the moment?
Oh, I think it's the mindset, because even though there are a lot of teachers that have like fun type of explaining, there are still a lot of students who close their eyes on this subject. So yeah, I think it's their mindsets that need to change.
Thank you very much for the answers, Luhong.
You're welcome, Miss.
All right. Thank you so much for the question, Stati. Any other questions from the students, perhaps, that experience this subject? Because I believe you're in school and you meet this subject almost every day and you learn it. Of course, you learn it from primary school until today. All right. Any others, perhaps? If you have any questions, you can turn on your sound.
May I ask a
Yeah.
question?
Sure, Miss Nani.
Okay. Hi, Luhung. Good evening.
Hi, Miss.
Nice to see you again after a long time. Okay. So, talking about math brings back my high school memories because I didn't learn math anymore in university, and now, for me personally, I don't think math was hard back then when I was in high school, but it's rather challenging. Maybe partly because the teacher didn't really give what is it, the context on how do we use math in daily life. Most of them just give numbers and then they will ask us to solve the problems, just giving the numbers. Um, yeah, I think it's lack of context, so students cannot really relate how do they use math in their daily life. Maybe I think that was the hard part for them to learn about math. If My question is, if you were a teacher, Luhung, math teacher, could you give example like how like trigonometry or function like making graphs like that, or maybe permutation? Permutation? Yeah. How can we use those in daily life? I mean, we understand that basic math, we will use basic math in our daily life, but what about the harder ones like those? How can we apply it in daily life? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nani, for the question.
Yep.
It's a very amazing question. Um, well, so wait, I'm going to go to this slide. Yes. For calculus, I've mentioned before, it's for like trades, workers, and stuff. Maybe it's going to be a subject that those who wanted to be maybe trades workers and others learned. For fractions and decimals and percentages, maybe if you wanted to be like a, what do you call it? Like someone who works that has like statistic in their jobs, like maybe like managers of a business, of a like company or stuff. Maybe this will, you know, this will be applied at your jobs and others. And geometry and trigonometry, maybe if you wanted to be an architect, you need this, like this subject. You need to master this subject. And yeah, some of you guys might be thinking like, oh, I do not want to be like, don't want to be someone who works on those kind of things. Well, yeah, but the math that we use in real life actually are the ones that we learned on primary school. And for the junior high school and senior high school, I think it's for, getting deep down into it. So you don't have to learn all of the subject on like junior high school and senior high school. Maybe only some of the subject, some of the like chapters. Like if you want to be an architect, then you have to learn geometry and trigonometry. But if you're asking like the chapters that you need in real life that everyone needs to learn, it's all on the primary school, like subtraction, addition, multiplication, and others. That's
Okay, thank you, Luhung. So, how can you convince your student, if you were a teacher in high school, to learn those hard subjects? If you were a teacher, just imagine that you were a teacher. How do you give, what is it, some encouraging message for your student to keep learning about math, even if they do not want to work, what is it, in those fields that really need those difficult math. Yes.
oh, if I were a teacher, then well, me myself, after knowing that that some of the chapters are we need those chapters to in our lives, I would like be happily study those subjects. But maybe some students do not think the same thing that's as I do. But I would say maybe I would convince them like there are some states in your life that you need this like chapter. You need to use this chapter. Like you don't know what's coming on in the future. So yeah, I think they'll be scared, but I think they would still learn the subject for maybe if there's something big happen in the future.
Okay, Luhung, thank you.
You're welcome, Miss.
All right, thank you, Luhu. Thank you, sorry. Thank you, Miss Nani, for the questions, and thank you, Luhu, for your explanation. So I guess I have a question here from me, Luhu. The interesting part is that you took the what is it like research, right, from American workers there, like 68 out of 100 use fractions and something like that. Can you this one? Okay, and then 28 out of 100 of the workers, and this is applied to American workers, right? Do you find the Indonesian workers? Do you find the Indonesian one? Have you found it? The Indonesian one, perhaps?
Well, I haven't found it yet, but I'm pretty sure like in every continents, countries or regions in this world, they all, I mean, all of them have like the same jobs. Like you don't have like maybe a job that applies only in one region and other like that. So yeah, I think if I take the American workers like study, then I would think it will apply the same way to the Indonesian workers.
Okay, because I believe Indonesian people, students, they also learn this subject, even mathematics subject like fraction, decimals, percentages, geometry and trigonometry, and calculus. And Luhung, what do you think? Do you think it is going to be applied the same like this? So let's imagine that it's for Indonesian workers, okay? So do you think fraction, decimals, and percentages will also be the highest here for Indonesian workers, or do you think it's going to change? Perhaps the highest one will be geometry or calculus or something like that. And why do you think so?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks for asking, Miss. Well, I think it's going to change. Like for example, like you're in a region where there are a lot of buildings and stuff. You need an architect to make that building like exist. So maybe the ones, since I've mentioned before, architect use a lot of geometry in their job. Maybe the gravel workers that use geometry will increase, and the other will decrease and stuff. So yeah, I think this graph will not apply to every, like, it will not be the same in every region, but I think it will apply to every region.
Okay, thank you, Luhung. Okay, so it's going to be different, right? It's going to be
Yes.
different for each country. So it depends on how the region itself, right?
Yes.
Does it have many tall buildings, or does it have like small buildings, or does it still have small forests or something like that? Okay, thank you, Luhung. I think one suggestion from me is that also it's about your paper. Okay, I think it's the same for Luhung and Chacha. The abbreviation, the one, because I read I've mentioned you type I've mentioned, even if it's like that, you need to, like, if don't abbreviate it, even if I have like for your paper. Okay, and then for any other comment, I think okay, there is no other suggestion. I guess I think that's it about your paper, only like that. And I think that's it from me. One more question perhaps from the participant?
I have question.
Okay, sure, Mr. Akbar.
Okay, hello, Luhung.
Hello, Mr.
Okay, so simple question, right? What do you think about how about the stereotypes in Indonesia that if you want to be called as a smart student, you need to be good in math subject? What do you think about that?
Well, maybe the teachers, it's not like you're good at math then you'll be smart or not. It's not like the numbers and stuff, but I think I joined a community and of math and stuff. Like most of the students who are saying that math are actually good at other subjects too, because they have that like logical thinking base that they can apply to every like other subjects and stuff. So well, that doesn't mean that other subjects will not give us, it will not like make us smart on other subjects or not, but like yeah, because like if we learn math and if we're good at math, we'll have like a great base of logical thinking, so that could be applied to every other subject. So yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Luhung, for the answer.
You're welcome, Mr.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Akbar, for the question. Okay, any other perhaps? Any other questions about math? Perhaps we can ask Luhung to solve any mathematical problem here. Just kidding, Luhung. Any calculus problem here? Just kidding. Actually, I'm one of the person that you can say I quite hate math. Can say that about this subject. Well, okay, I think if so, I can say that you love mathematics, right? It's a very,
Yes, I love
of
it.
course, I can see. Okay,
They
so which?
join a lot of mathematics competitions,
Oh,
by
that's
the way.
great. Oh, I just know that. Wow, that's great. I mean, believe it or not, I have never found someone who had this kind of big passion for mathematics. I mean, really, really, it's true. I mean, for chemistry, biology, sorry, I have found that kind of person. But for mathematics, I think I've just found one here, Luhung. Okay, only Luhung here. Okay, if there are no any other questions, so I guess thank you so much, Luhung, for your marvelous presentation here about mathematics, the underrated subject. Thank you so much, Luhung. Give a round of applause for Luhung. Great work.
Thank
Great
you
work, Lulu.
everyone for listening, for the questions, and for Miss Samuel, thank you for the suggestions.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you for all of the questions here. And now we move on to the last presenter, Asay. All right. Okay, Asay. Now take a deep breath, right? It's okay. And all right, I guess the time and place is yours. You may share the screen, okay?
Can you guys see my screen?
It's still loading, I guess. For me, it's still loading.
Okay.
All right, great. Okay, I say now I can see the presentation here. Great, izinkan pa. Okay.
Yes, it's still loading. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. Okay, can see it.
Okay. Hello everyone. Good evening. My name is Asay Bunga Cantika Karismaya Multilila, and you can call me Asay. So today we will discussion about depression is senior high school student enemy in the blanket. How do people make their dream job come true and get into their favorite university? Of course, by com- with of course by competing fiercely in their academic when they're in senior high school. But the burden is too much to bear for a young senior high school student. It pressures their mental and causes a depression. If we if we don't pay attention to it, then they will end up self-harming themselves. But as we know, in Indonesia, there is still little understanding about mental health issues, especially among senior high school students. There are still many students who are unaware about their peers' mental health state. Then what should we do to help them reduce it? We can reduce the unawareness is by being aware with your own physical and mental state, seeking personal help, and caring for each other by listening and supporting them. First, be aware with your own physical and mental health by paying attention to any physical change. If you start feeling such as always feeling tired, decreasing appetite or no appetite, sleeping too much, or having insomnia and dizziness or unexplained pain, you have to start questioning what's wrong with my body. Whether your physical changes as the effect of your mental health state. If you're not sure about that, then then you also have to consider about your mental state. If you start thinking like you always burden with a guilt and often blaming yourself, feeling hopeless and worthless, or having low self-esteem, feeling excess, excessive anxiety and worry, and having thought of self-harming of or attempting suicide, then you have to think what should you do to recover from it. One way to solve it is by seeking professional help. By seeking professional help, you can get a right information about healing process, and they can help you by listening and providing solution for your problems. But because you're still in senior high school student, then it will be better if you consult with a counselor in your high school. Why you should consult with the counselor? Because they are the closest person that you can reaching out. They know what kind of situation or what problem that happened in your school. But sometimes some students need more intensive healing process. Then you can use Allo Doctor. Allo Doctor is an application that you can access to consult your health, both physically and mentally, either with a doctor or physiology virtual. Your virtual consultation, but you will get your virtual consultation by a call, Zoom, or a chat. By using an Allo Doctor, you can get more private and significant facility, and they will get you a medicine with a right doses for your needs. Finally, after we know how to healing our mental, then we have to caring each other by listening and supporting them. It's the easiest way to help reduce the opportunity of getting depression by telling your story or your problem. Asking for someone to hear your story on help you to asking for someone to hear your story will help you to release some stress. After you s- after, after you telling your story, then you also have to listen their story. By starting asking how are they doing or how they're feeling today, and being there where they're down and listening to their story well, supporting them in any way by being there if they're confused, to make a decision and help them by giving some suggestion. And then forget the most important is you have to motivating them, because most of a person who get depression frequently feels hopeless and rootless or have low self-esteem. So we have to boost their confidence so they can get excited back to become a successful person. And for the conclusion, the effort to reduce unawareness is by being aware of your own physical and mental health, seeking personal help, seeking professional help, and caring each other by listening and supporting them by seek and caring for each other by listening and supporting them should be done to save their mental health in the future, because the more their growth and develop, the competition in college and work environment is getting bigger, and the pressure they get is getting more and more. By having a stable and strong mentality, they will grow to become a great and successful fighters. Thank you. That's all, and I'm sorry if there is any mistake. Is there any question?
All right. Thank you, Asay, for your presentation about this depression. Any questions? We'll start for the participants to start asking questions first. Any questions, suggestion, perhaps? You can turn on your sound.
Yes. Can I ask Ms. Amel?
Yeah, sure, Mbak. Miss Eka.
Yeah. Firstly, I like to acknowledge Asay for picking this topic. I think this is a brave thing for you to pick up this topic on mental health. However, when you started your presentation, I don't see what is the real issue here that you're trying to bring. Like, what is or how much of the high school student here in Indonesia are depressed? We don't have that in your presentation. So I don't see what is the real issue here. Suddenly I'm seeing you giving us a suggestion of how people who are depressed, what should they do? Like go to see doctors, see help, see professional. So, and then you mentioned about symptoms of depression, but I don't see what are the real issue here for high school students in regards to depression. So tell us about it.
Thank you, Ms. Eka, for the question. The issue is actually now there are many senior high schools sharing their problems or their self-harm in social media and provocate other students to use self-harming to like cut to like to become the solution. So I think they have to be aware with that kind of provocate.
Okay, anything else? So you are aware that some of your friends or students, is there a data that you have with you?
Oh, I see it that there one day there a trend in Indonesia that you start you share your barcode. So the barcode is actually a cutting in your hand, and there are like, if I'm not mistaken, there are around 100K videos in there, and they're sharing about their cutting. Then most of them are in senior high school.
Okay, so maybe you can bring that or show that in your presentation. Okay. So so what is important about this topic, Asay? I mean, for you personally, what is important about this topic? Why did you bring up this topic in this presentation?
I want I want to share to my friend that self-harm is not the solution and you have to stop it. Sometimes it's hard when we become a senior high school, but if we try our best to stop self-harming and be aware with that, then we can be more strong and stable person in the future.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Ms. Eka.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Eka, for your questions. Others? Others who want to ask about issue?
Good evening, Asay.
Hello, Miss.
Okay, so you mentioned that senior high school students are the most affected people by depression. Why do you think depression affects senior high school students more than other age group or other parts of students? For example, if we're talking about age, then the logical progress would be university students. Why are they not the most affected people?
Okay, thank you for the question, Miss Debbie.
Okay.
Why I think senior high school is the most affected is because there is in the middle that they have choose their parents or themselves. Sometimes a parents need they get into like you have to become a doctor, so you should go to I don't know like university from UNER and be a doctor from there. But the student need to become pilot or something else, but their parents like pressured them by asking by saying, I know what is the best for you, so you have to you have to you have to follow me. I know what's best for you. So but I don't think senior high school student can like can agree with that. There some of them are still like it's my life, then why they have to control me? But if we go to what we want, then people will say that we are sorry, anak durhaka because we not follow our parents. That's why I think more senior high school students get the effect.
Okay. So you think because senior high school students are rightly in the middle and they have to decide what they want to do with their lives in the future. Thank you, Asay.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you, Miss
Tati.
Debbie.
Thank you, Miss Tati, for the question, and also for the question before. Sorry for this question. Any others? Any others? Any other questions about this topic? This issue? Anyone? Okay, if there are no questions, Asai, there is only one suggestion from me is that from your paper, okay, we'll talk about your paper first. I guess you need to be careful with your capitalization because when I read your papers, I see that some of the words you wrote it in capitals, but it's not in the beginning of the paragraph, so it's in the middle, and suddenly I saw this capital B and all of a sudden, or capital R in the middle of the sentence. So just be careful with the capitalization. Okay. All right. And then I guess I have one question regarding your topic here. So it's about depression. I know it's for me, in my opinion, it's quite sensitive topic in Indonesia. And people will in your presentation you seek a professional help. It can be you can go to the doctor, you can go to the psychiatrist, or you can visit Alo Doctor, the virtual one, right? But I see some people here, I once read some people that they feel hesitant to seek help because these people are afraid. These people are afraid of others stereotyping him, being, oh, you're crazy, your mental is not healthy, oh, you're out of your mind, you're crazy, you're mad, something like that. He is so this person, so just imagine this person is aware that he has this kind of mental health problem and he wants to seek professional help, but he's afraid or she is afraid of on others' opinion. Well, I once heard this the opinion that what you have this kind of you are depressed, you have this you are depressed, you cut yourself, you need to pray more, you need to pray more, right? You know that kind of advice, right? You need to pray more, you need to read Quran more, or you need to read Bible more, you need to visit mosque more, you need to visit church or something like that. Asay, my question is that, do you have any tips that for our friends that are afraid to seek professional help because of this people stereotyping them of being crazy, of being delusional, something like that? Do you have any tips for them so that they are not afraid of seeking the professional help? Okay. Yes, I.
Yes, Amel, with the suggestion and the question.
Mhm.
So, like what I say, our doctor if give you private significance. So, if you scared or shy with that, you can use our doctor because our doctor only you and the doctor will know. They will not sharing your problem in social media, and you don't have to share your problem in social media, and it's on your gadget, and your gadget is your private, so only you can see it. And I think Indonesia is still, you know, still think that Quran and Salat is the best way to help reduce it. But sometimes we need something real. Sometimes we need a doctor to help us, not only by a gut, but also by a doctor. So it's only like a stereotype, I think. You should ignore them and just go what you need and be happy for your life, I think. It's not something you have to shy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Asay, for your answer. And then what else? You said that one suggestion is that use Allo Doctor or any application that you have in your in your cell phone. But what if it is like this? I found one issue that this person he or she I think she seeks professional help, and then she told us a story that when she went to the mall and she met her psychiatrist by accident, and when they met each other, between her and the psychiatrist, they just pretend they do not know each other. So I think that's one suggestion that by what it means by virtually the privacy thing, right? The privacy thing about between the, I guess. I think that's my my experience that I've heard from some people that they have to deal with this kind of issue, being depressed, and they need to seek professional help, I guess. Okay. All right. Thank you, Asay, for your presentation. Any other questions or suggestions?
Thank you, Miss Amel.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other from the students, perhaps?
Miss, can I ask a question?
Sure, Mary. Sure.
Yes. So I have a friend that is actually doing this kind of stuff, and I want to ask personally too about this. You did say about going to use like some sort of application, right, from our phone, but what if our parents checked it? Because my friend ever did this kind of stuff, and her parents end up finding out when they check her phone, and yeah, she kind of got into trouble. And if we actually ask from our parents first, is there any way that you suggest for us to do or to ask, like what kind of question to ask to our parents? Because some of them, they're really against this kind of stuff. So I guess that's all from my question. Thank you.
So thank you for the question, Mary. It's same with my friends. She can use Allo Doctor, but me as her friends, I know it's too much, but it's the best way I can do for her. I always call her and ask her how much cutting that they get. And thank you for my friend because she stopped now. She not cutting again. And I think you can be their physiology by like it's have to that like they need someone to help reduce their stress, and you can also by asking what what kind of problem, what should I do, or you can go to their house and just make her happy and tell their story about your life. Watching movie together, it's I know it must seeking a professional, but sometimes you can be professional by any mistake, but it's okay. Sometimes you can be help them in your own way. It's also good because you can without our parents. Like our parents is like our God. I think like if we make some mistake, then they will probably get angry and we scared with them. But if you if you can give your time to her, I think she probably will stop cutting with some like my friends. So that's all. I think that's all.
I see. Thank you very much for your answer.
Thank you so much for your question, Mary. Yeah, I think about that your parents will check your phone and they found out something like that. I didn't see it from that point of view because we, as an adult, we have so many opportunities to even
use our phone.
even if we have a slight problem like back pain, getting older, and you just chat, hello doctor, my back is getting weirder and weirder, something like that. But then I'm really sorry. I apologize that I didn't see in that kind point of view just what Mary said before. So yeah, hello doctor. But for high schoolers, even some university students, sometimes their parents are still checking their phone. Even some people think that even though we feel like, oh, we're already an adult, but then your parents will think of us as their little girl or our little boy or something like that. Okay, any additional info or any questions, other questions from others? Any other? Zara, Fanny, Widya, Stragus, Chacha, Luhung, perhaps, Miss Vivi, Miss Ria.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Okay. All right. So I guess if there are no more questions, I guess I must say thank you so much for Asay. A big round of applause for her. Very what can I say? A very sensitive topic indeed, but you can bring up this topic to our today's presentation. Okay. So thank you, Asay, and other participants for attending this amazing higher intermediate for presentation, and congratulations for Asay, Chacha, and Luhung for completing your level here in Lia. This is your your ultimate, what can I say, the peak level here in Lia. So do you have any comments? Do you have any comments? After all this time, I know that Luhung and Chacha have been here the longest, I guess. So who's been the longest here first, Miss Tati, if I may know? Is it Luhung or Chacha first, or
Both of them, they started at the same time.
See, so you've been together for long
No,
time.
no, they're not together.
Oh, no, I mean the level, not that kind of together. No, I know. I mean starting from EC level, if I'm not mistaken.
EC6, yes.
EC6, right? EC6, and then go to ET 11, 12, and then what is it? English for adults, and right now it's the last one, high intermediate 4. So I guess for Luhung, I guess one of you can give your comments about learning here until finish, I guess, what is it, the ultimate level. You can turn on your own. Yeah, Luhung.
Caca has a lot, miss.
Caca? Any, message for our friends here, for Mary, that, she's going to be high intermediate 4 after this? Any message for Zahra, Fani, Mary, Vidya here, for your friends?
The one thing that I can say is enjoy your time. Just take it slow. When you get intermediate or it's so stressing for me. But it's fun though. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Okay, it's what is it? It's stressful but fun, and it's it's like your what is it? Your first stepping stone, to learn about later when you create your thesis when you're in university, because as the teacher here, like Miss Amel here, Miss Tati, Miss Vivi, Miss Eka, and even Mr. Agus here, Miss Nanny, we know the struggle of this kind of paper. It's okay. This is your first stepping stone, so that you will be familiar with this kind of paper, right, Miss? What do you think? You will be familiar, right, with this kind of paper. And I know it's heavy, I know it's stressful, but you will learn, oh, this is the formal kind of writing. So this is, you will know, oh, this kind of writing, this kind of format or something like that. This kind of minimum words that you need to type, right? And then the kind of, oh, this is the font that I need to type and something like that, right? So it's like a mini practice, what I can say, mini practice for you, for your later life in the future, when you are in, when you become a university student, I believe. Your lecturer, I do not know, well, I hope that later your lecturer will guide you more in this kind of writing, thesis writing, thesis writing. Okay. Any other, perhaps, Asay or Luhung, do you want to give any messages and any motivation for your friends? Okay. From the participants here, any messages for our presenters, for our 3 presenters here? Asay, Caca, Luhung. Any messages?
Okay, Miss Amel,
Mhm.
may I?
Yeah, sure, Miss Tati.
I just would like to say congratulations to all 3 of you for dealing with the boss level in your Leah game. So well done with the presentations. I hope you can use this experience to do more things in the future. And I hope that this is a good experience for you, that you will remember this whenever you use English, and it will help you to get through to something that you want to achieve, your dream, your passion, whatever it is. Okay. Thank you for that, learners.
Thank you, Miss Tati. Thank you so much. Very, good motivation, if not only for Asay, Caca, and Luhung, and for us, for me. Still, still in the process of achieving our dreams. Okay, thank you, Miss Tati. Any other from the participants? Any messages? Any from teachers here? Where is your teacher? Where's your class teacher here? Where is Miss Ria here?
Hi.
Any, what do you want to say to your, this amazing learners here, Caca, Luhung, and Asay?
There are a lot of 1,000 words that I would like to deliver to my students, especially these 3. With countless hours, we practice the presentations and countless meeting that we have to revise your writing. The success, what is it? I believe that you guys can achieve this, and I know that you guys can do it. So tonight is the proof that you guys are able to, what is it? Make all of these obstacles gone. So congratulations for 3 of you. Nothing to say, but I'm proud of you guys. Yay!
Congratulations. Yeah, I believe they can do this. And I believe when, the time goes by in the future, they can achieve more. They can write more.
Yeah, this is just this starting.
The starting.
So, yeah.
Only the start. This is the only start. I believe you can do more later. Much, much more, I believe. Much, much more. Okay? All right. So any other? Any other from other teacher, friend here? Miss Eka, perhaps? Okay. All right. So if there are no any other questions or suggestions, I guess we can end this presentation now. Okay. Thank you so much for Chacha, Asay, Luhung. Thank you for your presentation. A very great presentation. Also great paper here. Thank you for all the participants, Miss Teti, Miss Eka, Miss Pipi, Vidya, Mary, Miss Ria, Miss Nene, and like before, Mr. Akbar, Mr. Agus. Thank you for all the questions, the suggestion, and what I will say is thank you so much for today. Have a good rest. We'll see you when I see you, I guess. We'll see you when I see you, and stay safe, wear a mask. The pandemic is still going on, be safe and be healthy. Thank you so much, everyone. Good night. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye, everyone.
Thank you all. See you when I see you.
Salam.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you,
talk.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.